Hello and welcome back. You're watching Dukascopy TV. I'm Natalie MacDonald. Alexandre Vautravers is back in the studio now. We're talking defence spending. Alexandre, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so if European defence spending is reducing, where is growth within the arms market coming from?
Well, essentially, we're talking about the BRICS countries. So not only is Russia increasing very substantially its defense spending from year to year, but India has just announced that it would raise its defense budget by something like 30% over 2 or 3 years. China has been very substantially rising its defense procurement basis. So definitely, those are the countries where most of the money is being spent, and these countries are acquiring very vast and very substantial pieces of equipment.
But there's still quite a large disparity even within the NATO member nations. For example, 6 member nations at present do not have an air force as such to speak of. Are steps being taken to redress this balance almost?
Okay, there would be a virtuous and I would say reasonable answer to your question, and that is the European Defence Agency that has been created almost 10 years ago. But this particular defence agency that was supposed to pool the resources and try to essentially spread, to diminish the difficulties, the challenges available in Europe, and sort of pool the resources, has not been doing all of the work that it was supposed to perform. There's not enough money being spent on defense in Europe for this particular agency to work. So what we're seeing now is a new set of concentration, mergers and acquisitions, and just a few days ago, the announcement of the merger between Krauss-Maffei-Wegmann and Nexter being a French state-owned company, very active in the design and the development, the construction of land warfare, armored vehicles, munitions. All of this is essentially trying to pool and consolidate the industry in Europe.
Are we seeing then a greater number of these mergers between both organizations and also, countries themselves?
Yes, I'm not sure that we can really talk about mergers between countries, but definitely the pooling and sharing efforts are definitely one of the strategies within the European Union, within NATO. How successful they are, I am not sure, because there's a McKinsey study in 2013 that showed all of the redundancies that have taken place and how multiple countries are spending money essentially to purchase the same or to develop the same types of equipment.
Now, the story that was sort of the big military expansion story of the year, one which we discussed previously, was in fact the rejection of the Gripen fighter jet in a Swiss referendum. But what other sort of combat expansion stories are we noting this year?
The Swiss vote is actually a very strange one in the context of the Ukraine crisis, because everyone in Europe is now actually purchasing new military equipment, in particular combat aircraft. There are purchasing cycles which are about every 10 to 12 years. So Belgium has announced that it will purchase a new combat aircraft to replace its F-16s. There's also Slovakia that has now announced that it would send out a bid for the purchase or the leasing of a new fighter aircraft. Essentially, we're looking, or we're looming towards perhaps the Gripen in this case. A lot of F-16 operators want to renew their equipment, and definitely the follower to the F-16, the F-35 American combat aircraft, is very well placed. So there's quite a bit going on in the replacement of combat aircraft, and there's also areas, even in Europe, even in the United States, where there is expansion in the budgets. One area is cyber defense. We're talking about an increase of about 40% of the spending in terms of cyber defense over the last 5 years. Remotely operated vehicles and drones are definitely also one area where a lot of money is being invested at the moment.
Alexandre, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your insight with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alexandre Vautravers there of Revue Militaire Suisse. Thank you, viewers, very much for watching. Goodbye for now.